is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the
Every song.
night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene.
Merry Christmas.
Trick or treat, tell the neighbors gonna die of fright.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. No, it's November 7th. Halloween ended a week ago. Plus, you're an adult. Shouldn't you have stopped trick-or-treating like 15 years ago?
But candy.
Candy? No more candy. Go put your Christmas decorations up. You're a week late.
Hello, I'm Notes. Halloween is over. I gotta take off my costume. I gotta take down my display. Well, now that Halloween's over, what am I supposed to review?
Notes. Mail.
They still deliver physical mail?
Apparently.
Like, with owls?
No, apparently our Canadian Post ain't quite that advanced.
Oh.
Here.
Ziltoid! Yes, Ziltoid! Halloween might be over for another year, but that doesn't mean we can't be excited for something new. And what else to be excited for but the follow-up to the 2007 Ziltoid album from Devin Townsend. Following Devin Townsend's work has been more than just a regular journey, it has been an adventure. And this album has been split kind of into two halves. The first has been from the Devin Townsend project called Sky Blue, and the other half is the sequel to Ziltoid the Omniscient, Dark Matters. So let's take a look at both of these albums, but separately. For me, both of these albums, even though they're released concurrently and in the same package, feel very different from one another. This isn't the first time that Devin has released both albums at the same time. He did this with Ghost and Deconstruction. But unlike Ghost and Deconstruction, he released those two completely separately on the same release date. Whereas this album was released the same day in the same package. And much like Ghost and Deconstruction, this splits Devin's mind into two. We have the darker, harsher, but fun side with Deconstruction and Ziltoid, and we have the lighter, more serious version of Ghost and Sky Blue. In fact, these are part of the reasons why I love and deeply connect with everything that Devin has done. For three main reasons. One, he doesn't let himself be defined by any musical genre or box. He plays what he wants to play. Two, he is unapologetically himself in everything that he does. If he wants to be goofy, he's goofy. If he wants to be serious, he's serious. And three, and I would argue the most important part, he puts his all into everything that he does. He holds nothing back. And this is seen in his lyrics, this is seen in his concepts, and this is seen in just the music that he plays. He pours himself into this. You can't help but connect with this on a very basic level. And all of these albums have all three of these characteristics, and it's tangible on these albums. So today, I'll just take a look at Ziltoid, Dark Matters. Sequels are always hard to make. How many movies have we seen where we walk out of a sequel thinking, man, that just wasn't as good as the first one? The sequels come with an inherited disadvantage. They're going to be compared with their original work, and the original work is already standing on a solid foundation of greatness, or else why make a sequel? Now this may be true for movies, but it's not necessarily true for everything. If we look at video games sequels are typically a lot better. A bad sequel video game is the exception rather than the rule. But can this actually be said for music? Are they like video games where they're greater than the original, or are they more like movies where they suffer that disadvantage from the get-go? Really, they're kind of met right in the middle. A lot of sequels work. We've got Testimony 2 from Neil Morse. We've got Thick as a Brick 2 from Ian Anderson. We even have Bat Out of Hell 2, which was a solid follow-up to the original. We even have some sequels that just excel. We have Scenes from a Memory from Dream Theater. We have The Parallax Part 2 from Between the Buried and Me. We even have some sequels that do not work, like Bad Out of Hell 3. Do we even remember that one? So the sequel, as with any musical journey, shows where the artist is at the time of writing it. What worked for the original may be too far away from where the artist is currently, and much harder to recapture in that follow-up, especially if a number of years have passed, such as Ziltoid. So even with 7 years past and 6 albums released since Z1 and Z2, do the two still hold up? Let's put aside that argument for a moment and look on Dark Matters on its own merit. Everyone will be comparing Dark Matters to the Omniscient, so let's just leave that discussion for now. Ziltoid 2 was in the works for quite a while. Originally, Epic Loud was supposed to be Ziltoid 2 until it took on a life of its own and Devin decided to pursue it just on its own. And not surprisingly, when Devin decided to follow up and put out Ziltoid Dark Matters, it has that same kind of Epic Loud sound. To give an oversimplification of the album, it feels like Townsend kind of reached through Epic Cloud, grabbed Ziltoid from 2007, and brought him through that context of Epic Loud where it was. So you have Ziltoid, but almost presented in that very epic, very big sound that Epic Loud had captured. So what do we actually have on this album? We have a focus on story and fun. It sounds very much like Peter and the Wolf, and Devin actually plays tribute to this in the song Earth. There's a riff on that is almost identical to Peter's theme. It is pretty much a straight up audio musical, right, with a narrator. We have spoken word with characters, a very easy to follow story with a lot of sound effects and a lot of fun. So then on its own, how is Dark Matter? It is so freaking good! The Epic Loud style fits perfectly in that grandiose concept of Ziltoid. Such songs like Earth, as I've already mentioned, and Ziltoid Comes Home showcase Townsend as that musical genius that he is. He's creating these really big and really grand sounds, so you have that really complex fingerpicking that we've seen on Kai and Terra, as well as those big grandiose sounds and build-ups and climaxes that we saw from the original Ziltoid as well as in Epic Loud. And while we're on the topic of characters, big grandiose themes, and even talking about that song Earth, can I take a moment just to appreciate the Planet Smasher? If you have any idea of what the Planet Smasher has been for the Ziltoid community over these past 6 years, to finally be told what it actually looks like, it was just so amazing. So we've got those booming beats that we've come to expect whenever Devin dips his toe into the metal scene, as well as having that kind of a heavenly sound that we've captured from Epic Cloud. And both are presented beautifully, as well as given their own time to really develop and really mature. If anything, they complement one another. And I think that's why he chose the title of Dark Matters, because you realize that the dark matters. So if you love Ziltoid and you love Epic Cloud, Dark Matter is that perfect marriage between the two. You can't appreciate that light without completely understanding and submersing yourself into that darkness. Although the music isn't as dark as Devin has been proven to be able to do, it has been always kind of light, so it's a really neat kind of a balance between the two. Should you check it out? Indeed!
Wait, there's another album here.
What?
Yeah, there's totally another album in here.
What are you talking about? Blue Sky! Will Notes have time to review Blue Sky? He has spent all of his time listening to Dark Matter, not listening to Blue Sky. What will he think of it? Why am I asking you this? Find out next time on Notes Reviews.